Taylor's Tuesday transfers, Newcastle target new forward, Arsenal and Aston Villa medicals. Good morning to you all, and welcome to the third installment of Taylor's Tuesday transfers this January. Before we get into it, once again, I'm really grateful to everyone that has tuned in to my new YouTube channel in the past few weeks. I've received some really nice messages, and that means a great deal. Having now lost my voice, this week's video is currently up in the air, but with 2 weeks to go in the transfer window and plenty of business to be done, you can keep up to date with all the latest on Express Sport and my Twitter, @RyanTaylorSport. Express Sport can confirm there is truth to reports that Newcastle are interested in signing Montpellier's English forward Steffi Mavididi, who is one of several names on their shortlist. The 23-year-old came through the ranks at Arsenal and has caught the eye since taking a leap of faith and moving abroad to play in France, where he also played for Dijon via a brief spell with Juventus. Mavididi struck 9 times in League One last season and is currently on course to surpass that tally, having already netted 6 goals this term. The versatile attacker can play anywhere across the front three, but in recent times has mainly featured from the left side of a front three. Express Sport understands the player's current contract does not contain a release clause, while Montpellier value Mavididi at close to £20 million. Intriguingly, Mavididi's brother, Sean, currently plays for Newcastle's academy side, and that could be of significance if the club are to formalise their pitch to the Montpellier starlet. A centre-back is currently of priority to Newcastle, but the signing of another forward is also on the agenda, despite the £25 million capture of Chris Wood from Burnley. The absence of talismanic striker Callum Wilson is now a major concern for the Magpies, who are in desperate need of goals in their quest for survival. Exclusive interview. Arsenal hurt in training with Cristiano Ronaldo. Steffi Mavididi's wild ride to stardom. Arsenal are expected to face a backlash from the rest of the Premier League when Pablo Mari joins Udinese on loan, a move that could potentially be made official later today. The Gunners have been heavily criticised for the postponement of Sunday's North London derby against Tottenham, given that manager Mikel Arteta had just one player unavailable due to COVID-19. Injuries, suspensions and the Africa Cup of Nations were responsible for a number of other notable absentees within Arsenal's squad, and now the Gunners are prepared to lose yet another player in Mari. The Spaniard is now on the verge of a temporary switch to the Serie A outfit until the end of the season, as he goes in search of more playing time with a medical scheduled for Tuesday. Arsenal have opted not to include an option or obligation to buy in the deal with Udinese, meaning Mari will return to North London this summer. Goalkeeper Robin Olsen will undergo a medical at Aston Villa today ahead of a permanent switch from Roma. The Swedish international shot stopper will arrive in the Midlands to provide competition and cover for Emiliano Martinez. Olsen joined Sheffield United on loan from Roma last summer, with the Italian club now set to terminate his spell at Bramall Lane. The initial agreement contained a break clause that could be activated this January, and a deal has now been struck between all parties. Goalkeeper Frank Fielding is one of the names currently under consideration to replace Olsen at Sheffield United. Brentford have joined the race for highly rated right-back Jed Spence, who is currently starring on loan at Nottingham Forest. Spence, who is owned by Middlesbrough, is also said to be attracting interest from Arsenal, following his eye-catching display against the Gunners in Forest's recent 1-0 FA Cup third-round triumph. Forest have already struck a deal to keep the full-back on loan for the rest of the season, negotiating a new fee with Boro. But beyond that, there's an expectation that Spence will be playing Premier League football next season. The Bees are keen on strengthening at wing-back this month, but are prepared to wait until the summer to land Spence, who could cost up to £15 million. After having great joy from the surprise capture of Maxwell Cornet from Lyon last summer, Burnley are continuing to monitor the French transfer market. The Ivorian attacker, who is currently away at the Africa Cup of Nations, has been a revelation since arriving at Turf Moor for around £12.9 million last August, netting 6 Premier League goals in 10 outings. Now Burnley could return to League One in their search for January recruits, particularly as they hunt a replacement for Newcastle's new frontman Wood. Stade Rennes centre forward Serhou Guirassy is one of the names under consideration. The Clarets have already seen an offer in the region of £14 million rejected by Lens for central midfielder Seko Fofana. He has been one of the best players in League One this season, but the former Manchester City and Fulham man has no interest in leaving the Blood and Gold this January. Burnley's squad is currently stretched to the limit due to COVID cases and injuries, meaning reinforcements are expected to arrive fast. Millwall want to sign former Wimbledon and Charlton striker Lyle Taylor from Nottingham Forest to replace their injured frontman Tom Bradshaw. The Lions forward picked up a nasty-looking knee injury in the 1-0 defeat to Steve Cooper's side at the weekend and could now be set for a significant spell on the sidelines. Gary Rowett is keen on bringing Taylor to the Den, while Forest remains set on landing Millwall's Jed Wallace, whose deal in South London is up at the end of the season. Sources have told Express Sport that Forest have already tabled a bid of £1.5 million that could rise to £2 million in bonuses. Millwall have placed a hefty £9 million price tag on Wallace's head, but could still sell him in the final days of the transfer window, although nothing is understood to be close as of yet.